case study and show you videos of mine that have done really well at the very beginning of my account. So I opened my account, I had no followers, and I just wanted to play around with the TikTok, and some of these videos really took off. So I'm going to show it to you and talk about why I think they did really well. At the very beginning, I also wasn't talking about any, for example, marketing specifically or TikTok. I wasn't giving advice. I was just posting videos to see. Now, at the very beginning, I didn't create videos specifically for TikTok. I just reposted some other videos that I had laying around just to see what happens. And for example, my very second video that I posted, so it was the first day I posted 2 videos, and the second video that I posted got over 30,000 views, and most of that just was overnight. Then I got a couple thousand views afterwards, but the first 30,000 just went overnight, and it's just incredible. You can't get that type of attention and that many impressions anywhere else. For example, on Instagram, imagine opening a new account on Instagram, posting a video. It will get next to 0 views or engagement, but it's very possible on TikTok. So I'll show you a couple of them. This is the second video that I posted, more than 30,000 views, and it's just so I was running a marathon in Greenland, and this is the video. It doesn't even have any song in it, so it's sort of like the #1 mistake I would say in here. I'm not even using any music. I could easily have added music to this video and it would probably do much better, but I just didn't know, so it's something I posted. It didn't get that many comments and not that much engagement, but it's got a lot of views because I think it is interesting for people. Now, the second video I posted, I did create specifically for TikTok. It was during a New Year's Eve party, and the interesting thing is that video got about 40,000 views when I posted it, but then it kept getting more and more views. It kept growing. Now it's at around a little over 70,000 views it has right now, and I noticed that it keeps getting attention and keeps getting views. So I think the algorithm just keeps showing it to new users. 2019 rewind. Yeah, that's just a funky video. It has a song that was trending at the time, and that's something that I think helped it really get that much attention because I was using the right song and it was kind of a trend at the time. So that's why it worked. Now the next video, I was puzzled why it worked well because the quality is actually very poor, but just goes to show that if your content is interesting, then the quality doesn't matter. The content is much more important than the actual production quality inside the video. So this one has about 45,000 views. And this is just me and my friend. We were just messing around with cars. For the first time, that's what we did, the freaking crash. Wait for it. Go. We're gonna crash and get a video. Viral. That was a very poor outro. Yeah, so I'm using sort of funky music, but you can see that the video is super small. I couldn't find the proper quality of the video that I had, so I only posted this because I had it in a sort of archive. But yeah, so this video just went off. You can see it has almost no comments, only 2 comments, but it was just viewed a lot of times and got a lot of views. Later on, I wanted to focus more on tech and marketing and sort of start actually providing some value and doing some fun in that way, not just post cars of, videos of me racing cars. So I started to post more in that direction. And this particular video that I did, one of the first ones, did really well. And when I posted it, got 20,000 views. So I'll just show you. This website makes fake people. Google "this person does not exist" and click on the first link. When you open the website, you'll see pictures of people. These are not real people. The website uses AI to generate pictures, realistic pictures of people's faces. Try to refresh the page. Every time you refresh the page, you'll get a new face. This person is not real, but it's generated by AI. How crazy accurate is this? So as you can see, one of the things at the beginning is that I sat down in the video. That sort of catches the attention of the people from bed. And then it's very fast-paced, and I'm moving the camera quite quickly and going around. So it keeps the attention of the people. And I wanted to talk about tech, and I started to do with this video an example of how you can use that. And this is another example. This one wasn't about tech at all, but this I wanted to show you because this particular video that I did, I moved from Denmark to Portugal, and I did a video about that on TikTok. And this particular video was served to the audience in Denmark, and it got a lot of attention. Now, the interesting thing is that this video got a lot of comments. The most comments I've received in a video. Not the most views, but the most comments. And I think the video kept doing really, really well for a long time because it kept receiving comments. And as we talked about before, people comment, they watch the video for longer because as you write a comment, the video is playing in the background, and that will improve the watch time, which will show the video to more and more people. So it actually helps spreading it for the algorithm. So I'll go ahead and click on the video and show you. So you can see I used the face tracking, which is a filter that's very popular, and I use it in combination with that specific song. That's a trend at the time that was very popular, so I used it, and I used my own spin on it of sort of why I moved from Denmark to Portugal, and it got a lot of comments. People are talking about, I mentioned the taxes, and that's obviously a very touchy subject, so most of the comments were about the taxes. And even if the video is controversial, people don't like it, if they comment, it will help you because it improves the watch time, gets engagement, and the conversations carried on. There's people like talking with them. I'm not even in the conversations at all. So this is something that that happens on the videos. So these are some of the videos that I've posted very early on when my profile had pretty much no followers. I just wanted to show you that you can create videos that get a lot of views, 10,000 and 50,000, almost 100,000 views without really having any followers. And as you post these videos, you'll get more and more followers. Your account will grow, and then it's easier to get those views. But yeah, at the beginning, you really don't need that much followers at all. And it's all about creativity and just doing funny videos. And you can actually grow your account pretty quickly. If you want to grow your account but you don't know where to start, it can be very frustrating. And just scrolling through the video, sometimes you don't know what kind of videos you should create. In this lecture, we're going to talk about a content plan, basically how to get you prepared to start posting. We mentioned before that you should be posting at least 3 times a day at the very beginning when you start your account. This might seem a lot, but it's a good time to start. Now, from my experience, what's best is to batch produce content, meaning that you should sit down and dedicate, for example, an hour, 2 or 3, or maybe just one day during a week, where you record all your videos, you save those, and you post them throughout the days and the following days. This is the best strategy from my experience. If you try to sit down 3 times a day to record a video, it sort of interrupts your day, especially when you're running a business. It just, you don't have the time necessarily and the mental willpower and strength to like sit down and interrupt your day 3 times a day. So the best thing to do is to sit down, dedicate half a day or even an hour, and just create as much content as you can, save it, and then post it into your feed afterwards. One thing to note about planning is that trends on TikTok move very, very quickly. So it's not necessarily a great idea to create a lengthy plan into like producing content for the next month, for example. That's something that's commonly done on Instagram or Twitter and some of the other platforms on YouTube. People have this like long calendar, especially for businesses. People have these long calendars of posting. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. It's good to have a sort of a plan, maybe batch produce for the week ahead. But the trends move so quickly that if you plan something too far ahead, it may not be popular anymore. You're going to sort of miss that wave. And if you're wondering what type of videos you are going to produce, the best thing to do when you're starting off is open your account and you can search relevant hashtags. So find hashtags that are relevant to your specific industry. I'm going to go ahead into my account. So I'm over here in the search tab, and you're going to find relevant hashtags to your specific industry. So for example, if I wanted to go ahead and I would look up hashtag, let's say marketing. That's a very, very broad, very big topic, but we'll just do marketing and maybe marketing tips. So look at marketing tips, and it's going to show me the top videos, users, and hashtags, and all those things. So if you click on hashtag, it shows you all of the hashtags. And the cool part is on the right side of the screen, you see it shows me what are all the views on that particular keyword. Now, marketing tips doesn't have a huge amount of views, but it has some attention. You can find hashtags that have billions of views. So for example, I will click on video, and I'm going to see the most popular videos for that particular hashtag. And they're organized in the order of popularity. So at the top, the first video is the one with the most views. That's the most popular video.
Do you never know what video Instagram content?
Yeah, so that's the most popular. As you scroll down, it'll be less and less popular. So the best thing, what I like to do is I'll look at the videos and the users that are the most popular for my specific hashtag. If it was marketing tips, I wanted to create content, then the best thing you can do is go into the videos and go scroll through and watch as many videos as you can watch, so you really learn what kind of videos get attention, what kind of videos actually work. That's the best way to figure out what kind of content you should be producing. And what I like to do is I like to save all the videos that I think are interesting and fun, because maybe you don't necessarily want to create all the videos, you want to copy paste all of them or create all the same ones, but if you find something that's interesting or relevant, you can save it, and then I use it as an inspiration to create content later on. So I'm going to go ahead and click the little share button on the bottom right, and over here, if you scroll to the right, you can see you can add it to favorites. So I've now added it to favorites. And at the beginning, you can scroll through the hashtag, scroll through several of the videos, and then save whatever videos you like, whatever you find interesting. Now, if you see somebody multiple times, so
hey, how to make an email?
So I know that this guy has been around, and I've seen a lot of his videos. But if you scroll through the hashtags and you see somebody that keeps popping up, you want to click on their profile. As you can see, I'm already following this guy. And then you can see all of the videos from that specific person. And you can do again the same thing. You can watch the videos, and then if you like them, you can save them to your favorites, just like I did over there. And really, this is the quickest way to learn what kind of content already works. Again, you don't want to just copy paste. You want to put your own spin on the content. But you want to find people that are already doing well, because success leaves clues. And if you can find people that are doing well, you can sort of follow their lead. You can learn from their examples and take insights, and then create your own spin on the videos. and also use it to grow your own account. Now, there's two strategies to create a content plan. Number one is to be more dynamic and don't really have a structure plan in, for example, Excel sheet. That's what I like to do. So when I first started, I would look up relevant hashtags, for example, marketing tips. I would follow all the people that are relevant to that hashtag, so people that are posting at the top of the videos. And then the algorithm will show me videos from those people, but also similar videos that are very similar to those. So it'll show me other creators that are doing really well. So the algorithm will naturally feed me videos that are similar to these videos. That's how you can discover interesting content. And I'll save all the videos that are interesting. And then when I create my content, I'll just go through my saved videos. I'll watch them all. And then if I feel like doing my own version of some of these, that is something I'm going to do. Now, another version is that you could save the handles of the people that are doing really well. You can put them into an Excel sheet, and then you can go through them later on, and then you can watch those videos for inspiration, and then create your own content blend that way. But I think because the trends move so fast, it's good to jump on a trend as soon as possible and use the right sound and the right effect. And the best way to do that is to follow people within your niche, and then in your feed you'll see videos that are very similar, and then you can learn from them and then take your own twist and do something similar. So to summarize, now you know that the best thing to prepare your content is first batch produce. So you want to make sure that you take an hour or a couple of hours or even half a day to create content that you can use later on. You want to post at least 3 times a day at the very beginning. And in order to discover what kind of content you should be doing, you want to search relevant hashtags and then go through the videos, take inspiration, save the ones that you like the most, and then use those for inspiration to create your own spin on those videos. In the next lecture, we're going to take a look at engaging with other TikTokers in real life.
Hey everybody, this video we're going to answer a very common question that people have, which is, when I'm making TikTok video or I'm planning my content strategy, should I focus on quantity or quality, right? Well, the first thing I'll say is that every platform is different, right? And you have to be mindful of the mechanics of the platform when you make this decision, okay? When you post on Instagram, for instance, you do focus on quality, right? Because you don't get followers if people look and the quality of your account is all over the place. That's something that is a problem. You know, Instagram's all about status. It's all about polish. It's old enough now that it's big into production value. Now, TikTok, on the other hand, is really different. Production value is much, much lower right now. And the novelty of the system is built around virality, meaning it's built in a way that you don't have to have a lot of followers to get a lot of views, right? And so anybody can make something go viral or catch on. What that means for you is that when you make posts, the way you're more likely, 95% of the time, going to grow your account is by trying lots of things and having lots of duds and having 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 20 just be a home run. And that one is going to erupt like a geyser. And that's where you're going to get a huge chunk of followers, right? And then as you keep going, you're going to essentially look back at what's worked in the past, and you're going to get better at figuring out what's going to actually go viral. But that's kind of the thing with TikTok, is that it's just designed for posts to really shoot off. And even if you have a lot of followers, it's not necessarily the case that posting consistent quality to the same people is going to make much of a difference. It's not going to increase the new types of people who see it, right? Like your followers might see it, like it, that's great, but it's not necessarily going to grow your pile. What you really care about is hitting those handful of ones that are just really popular, and that means that you have to focus on quantity.
Yeah, the expectations on TikTok are very different. People don't want to see the nice polished stuff. They want to see the true, rugged, behind the scene. And they don't necessarily need to see high production value. What they want to be entertained, they want to laugh, they want to learn something new. It doesn't really matter how you deliver those messages. What matters is that you actually deliver them. Right now, there's so much more demand on TikTok than there is supply for the content. So you can get away for stuff that would not work on Instagram and other platforms just because it's in a different phase of growth of the entire platform right now. And I've seen the growth on my account. It's not that I would grow consistently, let's say, 500 followers a day after I got to a certain amount. It was more about I was growing, let's say, 50 followers a day, and then I got one video that did really well, and suddenly I jumped to 1,000 new followers in one day. And then I would getting more and more and more, and then again I hit another viral hit, 5,000 followers in a day. So it's more of these like sort of spikes rather than a linear growth. And the entire platform is designed about getting those viral hits. The thing is, you do not know what's going to work. Nobody can predict. Like even the best TikTokers, they cannot predict what's going to work. Nobody hits it. Nobody hits a home run every single time. The best TikTokers have spent a lot of time on the platform, so they can have some assumptions that predictions are better than others. But even they don't get viral hits every single time. They get a lot of views because they already have a lot of followers. But you don't know what's going to go viral. Nobody knows. And the only way to find out is just to get a lot of content out there. You'll figure out what works for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, so the first thing we would say is it's quantity, right? Quantity, you're going to focus more towards quantity than quality. Why? Because the algorithm is designed to facilitate that. Like you're going to get rewarded for quantity whereas you're going to waste a lot of time if you're just focused on few posts, but they're as high quality as you possibly can. Right now, especially, production value is not valued, really. You see the most popular TikTokers in the world, and they roll out of bed in sweatpants, start dancing, and they get 20 million views. That's just not, you just have to be mindful of this. Now, with that being said, there is a bit of a caveat here, which is that you don't want to create negative quality in your pursuit of taking lots of shots to see if something goes viral. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean is that if you make a good video, how you convert that video into a follower, it's a lot of things, obviously. A good profile photo, a good bio that speaks directly to the reason why they came to your profile. But another thing is that they will go and sample your other videos. And before they follow you, they want to make sure that you have other stuff they like. Now, it's a bit of like playing Minesweeper if you are really, your quality is really all over the map. And let's say they watch one of your most popular ones, they go, great, this person's great. And then they go and they click the next video and it's absolute garbage. Like, it doesn't make sense, it wasn't edited properly, you just didn't put any thought or effort into it. That is going to turn them off immediately, okay? So what that means is that you need to spend a minimum amount of time when you make your videos. There's a minimum level of quality you have to hit to prevent that negative value debuff problem. And essentially what that means, and Darius talked about this before, is that when you design your content, and you make it, you really have to split your time between three things, and evenly between three things. 1/3 of your time should be spent planning it, thinking it through. Second one is filming it, getting the right shots, and the third one is editing it, putting that extra little like MSG to make it taste so much more, so much better. And if you forget that first little step of planning it out, then you're gonna have this problem where 80% of your content is trash, and then occasionally you get some good ones, but they're not gonna convert into followers. It's not gonna convert into a following.
Yeah, so basically having high production value will not necessarily help, but having a low quality video is likely to hurt you.
Yeah, it's kind of a Goldilocks type of situation a little bit, where it's like, you don't want to just pump out so much quantity that a lot of it's coming out just crap. But at the same time, you don't want to, spend all of your time worried about planning it out and making sure it's a high enough quality. So generally speaking, you want to create a lot more than you usually would on other platforms, but you need to make sure that you're just hitting a bare minimum of quality. You need to make sure that you thought it out a little bit. It's kind of like if we made lectures and we didn't plan them out at all. Sure, some of the lectures might be really good, but you guys are going to be really upset if 80% of them are completely unscripted. We have no idea what we're going to talk about because we didn't plan it out at all.
And one thing to keep in mind is that this is not like on Instagram, where on Instagram you post a picture or video, it displays to your followers. If you do 3 times a day, your followers will get annoyed and you will not get as much engagement. Versus on TikTok, you can post 5 times a day, 10 times a day. Your videos will display to different kind of people, and each of those videos have an equal shot of going viral. So your engagement will not go down just because you post more, but it's rather all about the engagement on the actual content that you produce.
Yeah, I think also the last point I'll make is just that getting to your minimum threshold of quality, that is something that over time gets much easier. As you get more natural in front of camera, as you get better at picking things out to film, and as you get better analytics, once you start posting stuff, quality will essentially take care of itself. You'll get to a point where you have enough data and enough experience that anything you make is going to be of a certain level of quality. It's kind of like if you ever listen to a podcast host who is brand new to podcasting, it's rough at first. But then at a certain point, they have so much experience with it, they can have the worst, most combative, non-cooperative guest on the planet, and they can still come away making it sound somewhat professional. So that's kind of a similar, you see the similar dynamic, especially in TikTok. So the minimum amount of time on quality, just know that you'll get better at it over time. But the name of the game with TikTok is just taking shots. Keep trying stuff, and the ones that hit are the ones that are going to grow your account. All right, everybody, hopefully that helps you understand the quantity versus quality dynamic a little bit better with TikTok. It's quite a bit different than other social media. If you treat it like other social media, you're going to have a bad time. Okay, see you next video. Bye.
One of the best way and most fun way to grow your account is to engage with other TikTokers, and that's exactly what we're going to look at in this particular lecture. If you have the opportunity to collaborate with other TikTokers, this is a fantastic strategy to grow your account. Well, when you both post a video, you get engagement for both of you. Well, you double the chance of one of the videos going viral and really taking off. But even if you post the same video for 2 accounts, even if it doesn't go crazy, you still get exposure. If your friend will post it, you get exposure from their audience, and then they'll get exposure from your audience. And there's 2 people. It's a fantastic way to collaborate and create videos. Obviously, not always you have an opportunity, but in-person engagement and collaboration is a really, really fun way to do it. This is also a great way to establish relationships, so you can actually either build new friends and connect with people. This is a really good way to grow your audience. And maybe you can find somebody that has a bit more followers than you, a few steps ahead of you, and this is how you can sort of bridge the gap quicker, is by collaborating together on video. videos. You can either reach out to a person directly and then meet with them that way, or you could also do meetups and conferences. There's not as many of them for TikTok as there are for other social media. For example, there's plenty of conferences on Facebook and Instagram, or even Snapchat and Twitter. A lot of marketing conferences. There's also sort of meetups that happen more and more often. So I think it's going to be more frequent on TikTok as well. And some of the bigger cities do a lot of meetups where creators like to get together. So depending on what's your location, you could use an app or website like Meetup. And you can see if there's any relevant meetups in your area. If there are, maybe you can create one and see if you can get other content creators together, create new friendships, and then do collaborations and create content. It's a really fun way to grow your account. Now, one fantastic way, if you wanted to reach out to people that you don't know yet that are on TikTok, and you wanted to maybe work with them or start creating the relationship, first is to leave a comment on their videos. Do something where you can contribute any value, give any suggestions, any advice, or just tell them that you really enjoyed the video. Now, if they do like the comment, that means they actually noticed it, and that's sort of a good sign where you can write them a message. You can write them a direct DM. Of course, it's somebody really, really big. They get so many messages. It's so flooded. You're not likely to be seen. But if it's somebody that's within your reach and a similar number of followers as you are, you can reach out to them directly, send them a DM, and then you can actually talk about getting together and growing your account together. So to recap, now you know that doing collaborations in person is one of the best ways to grow your account. You can either reach out to the person through DMs by first leaving a comment and then see if they engage with that comment, sending a DM, then actually start talking with them and meet in person. Or you can go to meetups where you meet a lot of creatives, hopefully create some new friendships, and you can collaborate in person afterwards. In the next lecture, we're going to look at using bots to grow your account. Bots have been around for a very long time in the social media world to grow people's accounts, but it's a very bad idea to use it. In this lecture, we'll talk about why you should not be using bots to grow your account. So bots are automated services. They've been around for a very long time. They're very popular on Instagram, and they're automated services, not allowed by platforms. So Instagram doesn't allow these, but they're kind of not illegal, but they're just not permitted by the platforms to grow your account. And they're usually done by either bringing fake followers to like blow up the number of followers that you have, or incentivizing maybe some other followers to follow your account. There's also weird and sketchy ways. This is not really permitted, so it is sort of a gray zone, but you shouldn't be doing it anyways. The top 3 reasons why you shouldn't be using bots on TikTok is, number 1, you can get easily banned. Actually, TikTok is more strict than other social media platforms, and if it sees that you are using bots or there's a weird artificial way of increasing your follower count, they're going to ban you. So that's the first reason. The second reason is that you're not going to get more engagement, you're only going to get followers. So you won't have more views on the videos, you won't have more comments, more likes, more shares. People are not actually going to watch your videos, it's just artificial followers. So it's really a vanity metric. It's a number that doesn't matter. And this became a real problem on Instagram. Some people that use their bots really increase their follower numbers, but decrease the engagement. And then brands didn't want to work with them because their engagement was low. Even though they had a lot of followers, but a lot of those were fake. So actually, it was really difficult. And it's impossible to recover from that. You can't get your engagement numbers up once you have so many followers that are not actually engaged. So it ruined their sort of account, and they had to start all over again. So the second reason why you shouldn't be using it is because it lowers your engagement. And the third and final reason is because if you are growing your brand on TikTok, you likely have a certain goal in mind. You don't just want to be famous for the sake of being TikTok famous, but you do have certain metrics or goals. You want to maybe sell products or any of those things. And having fake followers is not going to do that. It's not going to drive your sales. At the end of the day, the most important thing is how much revenue can you drive if it is a business for you, or how much recognition can you get if you're building a personal brand. But if you have fake followers, it will not improve, it will not help, so you should not be using it. To recap, now you know that the top 3 reasons why you should be using bots is because number 1, you can get banned, number 2, it decreases your engagement, and number 3, you cannot actually drive real business results like revenue.